Good morning, YouTubes. So I probably next time I'll do like a walkthrough of like the morning setup. But basically, I had to get the pre-treatment machine, which is this guy right here. I had to get it set up, and then I had to get the heat press turned on, and it's warming up right now. Looks like it just hit temp. And then had to get this turned on, and you have to do a head clean in the morning. You have to basically you print onto your platen. I already wiped it off, but basically make sure everything's running correctly. Get the laptop plugged in. That's where the RIP software is. And then, so we had a pretty easy week this week. If you can't tell, I have like a sinus infection or something like that. It's not coronavirus, so don't freak out. But yeah, we have a new package. So I figured I would just do another unboxing. And then I couldn't find my, I have like this smooth thing that I bought, and it's supposed to have like a, basically, so I can do tripod. It has like a little tripod attached to it, and then like this thing is supposed to follow me. So hopefully I can find that freaking thing again, and then I can start getting like better film, so I'm not having to do this like handheld thing. But as you can see, we mainly do Bella Canvas for their quality and just how they do business, okay? So, I mean, they let you know real quick. The product is just by far better than any sweatshops. It's retail quality. These are all things that are important to me. So we don't do cheap, we do quality. That's what Hest Collaborations is about. So we operate and use companies that do really cool, amazing things. And you can see their shipping's pretty quick. It's not crazy expensive. So a couple of the other companies that we go through for garments, just a second, are really expensive. So we have, I believe these are called, they're just the gray, I think. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. And then these are, I think, like just a darker, or the charcoal gray maybe? Can't remember. But these are some shirts that we're doing for one of our neighbors here. He runs and operates Our Place Cafe. This says to go. We use a different logo than this one. This is kind of like the first one they like had designed. You can see like it's not super easy to read, so they had to redesign. But we're just gonna do real basic logos on these shirts. So I'll get them prepped, set up, printed, and I'll show you guys what they look like. So I'm on limited time today, so I didn't like try to set this up at all, but basically this pre-treats it. The design I'm doing today is only going to be do like the top half, so you can actually set your pre-treat machine to only do the top half of the shirt, and that way you're not spraying everything down here. There's not going to be a print on here, so there's no reason to do it. But you pre-treat it, and then you bring it over here, and you put it on your heat press. Just a second. Put it on your heat press, and then you get it all lined up. Make sure there's no like little creases like that, because it's basically gonna press it in like that. So there's one up here. Make sure you smooth that out. And you can see, well, maybe you can see, but the shirt's already steaming, so the pre-treatment's already coming out. Next thing you do is you take this piece of paper, you put it over the shirt, and then you press for 20 seconds. You don't have to do this, but I do it, so I go ahead and I just set my heat press at 20 seconds. I burned a couple shirts already, or sweatshirts, because I had it set at like 90 and I was like, oh, I'll just keep an eye on it. And then you get busy and you forget, and then you burn, I believe it's the pre-treatment, but you burn the pre-treatment into the garment, and that's no bueno. You do not want to do that. So then we just go in here, we make sure that everything is flat. This paper gets flipped over, you throw it back on, and you hit it again. Boom. So what I learned last time is I was pre-treating, then I was doing this, I was sealing the pre-treatment in, and then I was bringing it over to the printer and I was printing, and then I had to take it off the printer, come back over here and cure the ink, and it was just a big CF. So what I figured out towards the end of the day is I can pre-treat everything, get it all prepped, and then so these are shirts that are all ready to go. And then now that they're ready to go, I can start printing them and then curing them and then just boxing them up. And that seems to be a lot more efficient. I'm a one-man team right now, so I'm the managing partner for our business, which means I do like the labor. My silent partner, my business partner, she invested a lot of the revenue, and she kind of sits back and I do kind of the labor and the other work, getting us sales and all that stuff. So this is just one way to run a business. Okay, so another couple things you have to do is, right now we have the pressure set a little bit higher, but when we're curing it needs to be a little bit lower. So this is the pressure setting that lowers the pressure, and then we have the shirt on the platen. So this is kind of annoying, and I would definitely say that the Epson printer has an advantage here. Their platen, I believe, has this like metal, it's like a rectangle or whatever, but it goes around the platen. So you put the shirt on and then you throw the rectangle over it, and it kind of pulls everything down and keeps it tight. With this one, you have to there's basically two pieces of rubber or something in here, and you have to go around and you have to kind of tuck the shirt in, but you can't tuck it in too tight, because if you tuck it in too tight, then it's pulling all the fibers apart. So then your print is going to look kind of janky. But you have to tuck it in, and then basically the rest of the garment has to get tucked underneath. And this isn't so bad when it's either a really big garment or a smaller garment, but when it's something in between, so this is a large, right? So when it's a large, you don't have a ton of material left to tuck underneath. So you end up with stuff out here. So the option is, I can shove it all the way in there, but I want to make sure that I'm not making the top of the platen really tight. So you kind of have, you get used to it, but it is time consuming. If I'm trying to bang out, say 100 shirts or something, it's this portion. Granted, I'm using one hand right now, but this portion of it, it's time consuming. It takes up, a lot of my time, making sure it's done just right. But other than that, it's a sweet system. So my designs are definitely a lot more detailed. So I'll go ahead and show you guys this next design. It's really bright in our area. Smaller spot actually just opened up at the Titsen, so we might be talking. I'm going to talk with my business partner today about maybe moving over there. This space is massive, and we really thought we'll grow into it, but the reality is even when we are banging out a bunch of stuff, we probably don't need this much space. The other space is probably, a quarter of the size, and all of our stuff is so compact that it'll just all fit in there nicely. Plus they have merchandising counters, so we were kind of thinking well, you know, that's something that we wouldn't have to go buy. So I don't know, we might be moving. And it's like a couple spots down, so nothing too crazy. But okay, so I've already got the logo all ready to go. So this is going to be the logo, and let's see. So sorry my screen's so dirty and it's so bright in here, but I've already set everything up. We have the print head is like where it's supposed to be. I've checked all the settings and everything. I like the location, so we're gonna go ahead and hit print. Let's see here, print, and then it's going to confirm that is the correct printer, and then we're hit OK. All right, so that just sent information over here. And the print head gets all set up, and it finds the correct location, and then it starts laying down the white. So because this is a darker garment, we are going to do a white underbase. We make sure to do that so that the print really pops. You can see, well, maybe you can see, so the outline of the text is like a darker white, if that makes sense, a darker white. And that's because in the logo, it has like a border around the color. So it's laying that down now, and then it's gonna come back over and it's gonna hit it with the color. And you can see why I only did the pre-treat on the top part of the shirt. It didn't make sense to have pre-treat all the way down here. And really, I probably could have only done just that first box, but you never know. And I wanted to make sure that, you know, it got done properly. So let's see. So now it's just thinking, and it's like, oh yeah, I need to do color. So now it's coming back and it's hitting it with color. Let's see, I'll try to get it where it's not so glaring so much, so it doesn't help at all. Maybe I'll do it from over here. There we go. Yeah. See how freaking bright that red is? And you still get that outline of the white. Now it's hitting it with the yellow for the cafe part. Beautiful. I kind of like that gradient. I should have talked to them about maybe doing that, but this looks great. It's super crisp, real clean. Yeah, look at that. And you can see just the detail, you know, that white border around the red. Yeah, and then the cafe, like all the little points in the font, you know, all that stuff comes in. It's real nice. Okay, now we need to cure the ink. So we have this, I don't know if it's a silicone or what they call this, but this goes on. I've already changed the setting. Oh no. Oh, I have music on. So that's not correct. So we're gonna have to do a little more pressure. Okay, and then it needs to go for 90 seconds. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to set this at 90, so it's only gonna do 20. Okay, so I made the mistake of not resetting this to 90. I already did 20 seconds, so I'm gonna just do 70 seconds and then pull it off. So I'll pull it off when there's 20 seconds, and hopefully that's okay, and then I'll hit it with the second cycle of curing. But this is shirt one, and then what I should be doing if I wasn't filming is I would be getting the platen set with the next shirt. And basically I'll just be going loading, printing, curing, and then I'll grab the box and get the box set up right here, and then I'll be packing it. So yeah, I'm gonna quit filming and get back to work. What up, YouTubes? So a little change of scenery for you. It looks a little bit different than the shop. We are headed to the Spokane right now. And I was thinking about a video that I've been wanting to make. So right now we're just passing Snoqualmie Pass. I thought, why not give you guys a little bit of a different view than just my face or the shop or the other businesses. So here you go for your viewing pleasure. Alright, so now that you got to see a pretty view, you can just look at my face for a little bit while I chat with you. So the topic that I want to talk to y'all about is the realities of being a small business owner. So these are like the truths, the real behind the scenes, or just from what I've learned or realized. Sorry for the janky camera angles. Sorry for the interruption. I just want to give you some more pretty things to look at while I talk. But basically, I wanted to talk about the truth of being a small business owner and some of the opportunities you will have to overcome in order to live your dream as an entrepreneur or as a small business owner. And the reality that I've come to terms with, and my business partner who was filming has come to terms with, that no one really talks about, is you have to be kind of crazy. You're going to encounter a lot of things that are going to tell you to stop or to do something different. They're going to tell you, you know what, get a 9-to-5, this isn't working. Or it'll say, don't invest that money, like you can barely pay your bills. And for me, and for our situation, it did come down to that a few times, where I wasn't able to pay certain bills because money was invested inside of the business. And businesses don't usually pay off right away. You have to have an investment. You kind of get through some things, you spend some money, you start to learn, and then eventually, hopefully, your business is profitable, and then you start actually paying yourself and paying down your debt if you've accumulated any, and growing your business. But a lot of that is going to create a lot of doubt. So you're going to doubt yourself, you're going to doubt your business, you're going to doubt your idea, and your friends and family are going to be right there with you, doubting you as well. They're going to think that, you should just get a job, go put your 9-to-5 in, and, maybe do your business on the side if you have time. And that's most of their advice. And the reality is, they have no clue what it takes to be a business owner or an entrepreneur. They don't understand the passion or the want. I work a lot more hours for my businesses than I pay myself, and it's rewarding to me to work for myself, to grow my own thing, to build my own thing, as opposed to working and growing someone else's thing. Going and putting my time in to help grow their dream or their idea. I'd rather put the work in and grow my dream, grow my idea. So there's going to be plenty of doubters. There are going to be plenty of people in your life who are going to sit there and they're going to pretend like they're professionals or experts in the field. And the reality is, unless they're doing the exact business you're doing, with the exact circumstances, with the exact location, they haven't a clue. They really don't. They may be well-intentioned and they may support you at some point, but a lot of times, a lot of the people around you are going to doubt you, and they're even going to root for you to fail. People don't really like seeing other people succeed. There are very few people in your life who genuinely want to see you do well or even better than them. So there are very few people who actually want to see you do well or do better than them. The reality is, everybody kind of wants to be doing like the best in their friend group or in their family, and it means like people will, say one thing in front of your face and then another behind your back. So it matters like who your circle is. Our circle is very supportive. Most of the people in my life, after watching the first business I started, Zephyr Lemonade, watching that become successful, a lot of people have a lot more faith in me now, so they definitely support me more. But I'll tell you, even now, people like to call my business a lemonade stand. We operate, multiple trailers. We have, multiple vending tents. We have 2 exclusive contracts with 2 of the largest outdoor music venues in the state. And people still like to call my business a lemonade stand. And they may say it jokingly, but really, I know it's, there's a little bit of jealousy there. There's a little bit of, they want to undermine what I've done, what I've been able to accomplish. Maybe you will have to. And that's okay if they undermine, what I've accomplished. Because what I accomplished really only matters to me, me and my family, the people who genuinely matter to me. But going back to the being crazy part. So, in order to get to a level of success, there's just a bunch of different things you're going to have to go through. So being an entrepreneur or a small business owner, it means you have to be a problem solver. It means you have to learn about your industry, and then you have to solve problems as they come up, or opportunities as we like to call them. When an opportunity arises, you don't have anyone to go run to and ask how you fix this. You have to come up with a solution. And then based on your solution, your business is going to go, one direction or another. So you have to be a little bit crazy to look at all of the doubt, all of the opportunities, and believe and have that belief that you're going to be successful eventually. So not all businesses are successful within the first couple of years. Not all businesses can get financing. And that kind of brings me to our story and what happened to us and why it took so long for us to get going, to finally get our business going. But you have to be kind of crazy to be a business owner. You have to fight through a bunch of different things in order to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. And check back later. We're going to have a bunch of different updates on different business things. And follow Hest Grow. Thanks. See you later.